I'm kind of loud, man. I'm from the country, so kind of follow me, because I got a twang to my voice, and I usually keep chewing the back end. My name is Anthony Broadus. My recovery date is 12/28 of 2012 from heroin. Okay. By the grace of God, I'll make it to December of this year, because I live my recovery one day at a time. I don't try to worry about tomorrow. I focus on today. You know, a lot of times in life we start worrying about other things. We start to feel overwhelmed. Our cup starts to get full. And then when it starts to boil over, we look for a stress reliever, right? Yeah. So I don't try to worry about tomorrow, man. I just focus on today, because ain't no telling what I could be doing tomorrow. I'm grateful to be here. Like you said, I was here last year. Anytime Morgan's Mission has an event, I'm on them. I'm ready to go. You know, even if I'm not speaking, I'm going to help support them, because that's what it's about. Just like Caleb was saying, everybody supporting everybody, no matter who you associate with, no matter who you talk to, no matter who your friends are, working together to try and help spread awareness and help those in recovery. Now, my story is a little different from some other people's. Like me, I was hard-headed. I would never go to treatment. I had to go to prison twice before I finally found recovery. Okay? I got 8 beautiful kids. Awesome. Love it. God gave me a second chance to be a father today, because when I was in addiction, I really wasn't worried about being a father. You know, I put drugs before my family. I put running around on the street before my family. You know, once I finally got the wake-up call, I got out of prison. I went and stayed at a sober living house down in Princeton, Kentucky, right next to Eddyville, what they call the Castle on the River. And I stayed down there for 2 years, came back, ended up getting into where I was working in recovery. I worked for ARC for 3 years. While I was at ARC, I got my peer support certification there. I was there 6 months, became the business analyst over the largest recovery center in the United States. We had 600 inpatient clients that I was over when it came to corporate. Ended up leaving there. I am the one and only counselor now at New Lease Medical Solutions in Louisville, Kentucky. We got a booth sitting right up front here. We do an MAT program there, to where if somebody wants to get into recovery and they need that extra help, we can help them with that. You know, I don't judge anybody for the way they choose to recover when it comes to Suboxone, Subucade, Vivitrol, anything like that. I'm not going to knock anybody if it's keeping them from dying at the end of the day. Right? That's real. So like I said, because especially when it comes to somebody in recovery, you have to find out where they're at, what they're willing to do to try and recover, and go with it. Because if you try and push on them and try to tell them what to do, you're pushing them away. They're going to fire right back on you. You understand what I mean? I'm sure if any parents have had kids in the crowd right now that have dealt with addiction, and you're calling them, they're going to be quick to hang up if you're trying to just push on them real fast. So in recovery, we have to meet people where they are. We might not like where they're at and where they're ready to start at, but we have to accept that. You know, we got to love people where they're at. And that's a big thing. I was in Lexington, Kentucky yesterday. Was able to speak at recovery out of there. Had an amazing time. Some amazing speakers. Mike St. John, Tony Barrett. There's a lot of people there, man, that hold a lot of inspiration. We sat there and we had an amazing time. It wasn't a very, very big turnout, but the words that was said moved the soul. And that's what it's about, man. It's coming together as a group, as a whole, sharing and touching at least one person in the crowd. If I'm able to help one person in the crowd, no matter where I go, my job is done. Somebody saw the light. You know, we got to shine for everybody. It tells us in the Bible that the Lord's light will shine through the darkness no matter what. So I use that word shine everywhere I go. That's why I keep it on my hat. That's anything I try to do. I try to shine everywhere I go and let the Lord's work do its job.
Amen.
A lot of people ask me why I do what I do. Now, the Lord came into my life and helped me in my recovery a lot. I keep a Bible in my pocket and the 12 steps with me everywhere I go. Now, if the 12 step is not your program, awesome. Keep doing what you're doing to stay sober. That's what it's about at the end of the day. I'm not going to knock anybody for any way that they recover. Okay? I'm going to meet you where you're at. Because I don't just follow AA. Like I was a heroin addict. But I don't like the 12 steps of AA. I just changed the words out. You know what I mean? I replaced the first drink with the first use. So when it comes to what I do, man, I want to share this with y'all before I finish up. I'm going to share just a little bit of this. But it tells me in the big book, man, on page 164, see to it that your relationship with your God is right, and great events will come to pass for you and countless others. This is the great fact for us. It says, and this is why I do what I do right here, and this hit me yesterday, and I shared it there, and I want to share it with you all now. I spend a great deal of time passing on what I learned to others who want and need it so badly when it comes to recovery. I do it for these 4 reasons. It's a sense of duty, it is a pleasure, and because in so doing, I am paying my debt to the man who took his time to pass it on to me. And number 4, because every time I do it, I'm taking out a little more insurance on myself against a possible slip-up. My name is Anthony Broadus. Thank you all so much for having me. I love you guys.